I am Alyssa, and today I'm listing my top 10 movies of 2018, and just to get this out of the way, one, I have not seen every movie that was released in 2018, so if your favorite is not on this list, I either, one, haven't seen it, or two, I didn't feel like it fit on my personal list, but if it's on your list, that is great, that's amazing. I would love to know what your top 10 movies are down below in the comment box, but after getting all that out of the way, let's actually dive into my top 10 movies of 2018. And again, my list is going to be different from yours, so, you know, the choices I'm about to reveal to you might shock you, but it's my list, dang it. Number 10 is Mamma Mia! Here we go again! Even if that was terrible, that's being left in the video. But I loved Mamma Mia! Here we go again. It's not a perfect movie, but it made me so happy after watching it, and the soundtrack is so superb. And Lily James is so effervescent in this that I just had to include it. It's miles better than the original Mamma Mia. I feel like you don't even have to have seen the first Mamma Mia to enjoy this. It will certainly help with the story, but it's just such a fun ride, and everyone's giving their all. They're having fun with this movie, and the song and dance numbers are so expertly choreographed and executed, and it's just such a joy. And I have no shame in putting it in my top 10 because it just gave me so much joy. Number 9 is SpiderMan Into the SpiderVerse. This pleasantly surprised me. I went in expecting to like it, but didn't think I would love it. But I totally do love Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This follows Miles Morales as he takes on the role of Spider-Man, but you also see an older Peter Parker, probably in his late 30s, early 40s, and you also see other Spider people such as Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, Spider-Man Noir, and all the voice actors are great. The animation styles are incredible. I've never seen an animated film look like this with its comic book stylings, and the way it's just rendered, it's incredible to look at. It seriously feels like you're watching a comic book come to life. The soundtrack is so catchy, and this film is genuinely funny. It's got some heartfelt moments, some moments that wrench at your emotions, and it's totally worth a watch. Even if you're not the biggest Spider-Man fan, I feel like you'll enjoy this movie because it's so sweet and so entertaining. Coming in at number 8 is 8th Grade. I really related with this movie, and I thought it was a really impressive directorial debut from Bo Burnham. This follows a girl who is obviously in 8th grade, played by the magnificent Elsie Fisher, who is just struggling to find out where she belongs in the world and who she is, and she deals with regular teenage girl issues like, you know, having acne, not being sure where you belong, like which clique you belong in, if you even need to belong in a clique, dealing with crushes and the fact that you feel like you're not good enough, and also dealing with the usual school issues like trying to stay on top of your homework and having a social life. It just really resonated with me. I felt like I was partially the character of Elsie when I was in 8th grade myself. I dealt with issues of self-esteem, of trying to fit in and feeling like I didn't. And I think Bo Burnham somehow magically tapped into the psyche of an 8th grade girl, and it's just a really, really well done film. Number 7 is a controversial choice, but that is Hereditary. I really love this. Again, this is a directorial debut, feature film debut, I said that twice. Anyway, from Ari Aster, who previously directed several fantastic short films. But this is a horror film that stuck with me and that genuinely scared me. It is very hard for a film to genuinely unnerve me nowadays, but Hereditary did that. Toni Collette is superb as Annie Graham, whose mother has recently passed away, and after her mother passes away, creepy stuff starts to happen, secrets are discovered, and the family is put through emotional and physical turmoil. That's all I'm going to say because saying more would spoil it. But this is a genuinely, I've said that already 3 times, unsettling film. There is imagery that you will not get out of your head. It's scary as hell, at least it was to me. But it's so well done, and I love that there are multiple messages and themes hidden within the narrative of the story itself. is so much deeper than the surface suggests. And I loved how Ari Aster shot this film, how it was lit and staged, how artistic it was. I just loved everything about Hereditary, and I feel like it's a really well done horror film, especially considering this is his first major full-length film he's directed. I feel like this is a winner. At number 6 is Won't You Be My Neighbor. This is an endearing documentary from Morgan Neville about Mr. Rogers and about how he came up with the idea for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and also his own personal life and his ideologies. And this is just a film that makes you feel good. I cried several times during this film because just seeing how compassionate Mr. Rogers was and seeing how ahead of his time he was and how progressive he was, how he wasn't afraid to bring up tough topics on a show that made them palatable for younger viewers to watch, was just incredible. And he was an incredible man. And this documentary does make you feel all the warm and fuzzies, and it does portray him in a very positive light. And it's just very uplifting, so if you need something that will cheer you up while also making you cry at the same time, watch Won't You Be My Neighbor. Even if you weren't a fan of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, like me, I was not a fan of it as a child, it will resonate with you today as an adult. At number 5 is Roma. This is Alfonso Cuarón's latest film, and it is a knockout. When I first started watching this, I thought it was a very interesting film, but as it progressed, it started hitting me harder and harder until one specific moment that just completely gutted me and made me cry all the tears in my body out in this one scene. But it focuses on this family who rely heavily on their nanny, and the nanny is kind of the glue that holds the family together. And she is portrayed magnificently by Yalitza Aparicio. If I said that wrong, I am sorry. But she is phenomenal in this. She doesn't say a lot in this movie, but what she conveys through her facial expressions and her body language is so powerful. And the fact that this film is shot in black and white just adds this level of emotional gravity to the film. Haha, pun not intended. Gravity was one of Alfonso Cuarón's films also. It's a very powerful film, and it's very much a slice of life film, but it does resonate. It has very powerful messages in it. It's very realistic. It is very hard hitting, but it's so worth watching. At number 4 is Annihilation. I loved Alex Garland's previous film, Ex Machina, and Annihilation is another winner from him. It is an absolutely gorgeous looking film starring some amazing actresses, Natalie Portman, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Tessa Thompson, and Gina Rodriguez, with basically the sole male role occupied by Oscar Isaac. And it's a very intriguing story based on the series of novels by Jeff Vandermeer, which I also loved. But this is a very heavy sci-fi film that also has some horror sprinklings. And I won't spoil any of the story for you because I feel like you need to watch this with fresh eyes and not know what's going to happen unless you've read the novels, but even then, this diverges from the novels. It's so worth watching though. I feel like this film didn't get the attention it deserved because basically in every other country besides the United States, it went straight to Netflix, and here it had a very limited theatrical run. But it deserves so much more love and praise than it has already gotten. And number 3 is A Star is Born. This is the 4th retelling of this story, but Bradley Cooper in his feature film directorial debut is just magnetic as Jackson Maine, who is this country rock singer who is kind of on a downward trajectory with his career. He meets a waitress named Allie, who is played by Lady Gaga, and she is very talented. He discovers her talent. So one day he invites her on stage to sing with him, and with this one act he propels her towards stardom, and it's about their very tragic relationship and how they feed into each other, how they both help each other out and also negatively affect each other. It's a look at current popular culture. It's a film about family, about love, about success. It's got phenomenal performances from all the actors and actresses. The soundtrack is amazing, and the feeling of being at these concerts and at these award shows is so totally immersive in this film. It's just all inspiring. I feel like I was there watching Jackson and Allie actually sing at these concerts and award shows. And this film did make me cry like a baby. It is a very tough watch at points, but it's very worth watching. It's something Bradley Cooper should be very proud of if he isn't already, which I'm sure he is. He should definitely win Oscars. I don't know if he will, but this film deserves them. And if you haven't seen it yet, if you think it's just a musical, it's not technically a musical, but definitely watch this. Give it a chance. It is worth your time. At number 2 is the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. That is the longest name for a movie ever, but it's so charming and uplifting. And again, it stars Lily James, who is as delightful and bubbly as ever. It also stars Mikael Huisman, who I adore. And Mike Newell did such a fantastic job adapting the book into a film and making it feel so homey and cozy, and also striking some very tragic chords when it needs to, but also bringing it back to a happier place. And this was a total surprise for me. I didn't expect to love this as much as I did, but it's a very well-crafted film. Every actor and actress is fantastic. And I definitely want to rewatch this soon, but it also has some serious messages in it, and that's why it's at my number 2 spot. And my favorite film of 2018 was Aquaman, because hello, Jason Momoa's abs. No, it's not Aquaman. I loved Aquaman, but it's not number 1. My number 1 pick is Avengers Infinity War. All I will say is the decimation, which is the term that Marvel has said is what they're calling it. I just love the fact that the Russo brothers managed to get all these characters together, and it could have been a very messy film, but it's not. It's very tight and cohesive, and all these characters work well together. It's such an ode to comic book culture, and it's such a love letter to the fans of these comic book characters and of the films, and it's just a perfect culmination. Josh Brolin as Thanos is a force to be reckoned with. This is a film that you need to watch. You will need to watch a lot of Marvel films prior to this, but this is a tour de force. This was a film that I did not see coming. Well, I saw it coming, but I didn't see the story itself, what happened in it coming. You get my drift? And I just felt like it worked so well, and I cannot wait for Avengers 4 this year. It's going to be epic, I believe, because Infinity War was epic. So those are my top 10 films of 2018. Again, let me know what your top 10 were down below in the comment box. If you like this video, leave a like. Make sure to share if you liked it, because that helps me out tremendously. If you're not subscribed already, but you like what you've seen and heard, hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so you'll always be alerted, or you should be alerted, when I upload a video. If you'd like to follow me on social media sites, those are all listed down below in the description box. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!